Alright, hello, welcome to this messy workbench. So I've been gone a minute. I did work on a pedal recently for a long-time customer. Wanted me to make him something crazy. I took a, Fender Starcaster Distortion. You know those pedals from the, I think they sold them at Best Buy in the 90s or something. Very interesting distortion. Very thick metal case, very hard to drill through. And also not too much room to work in there, but a lot more room than these Behringers. But yeah, look at this messy. So while I've been gone, I've been, focusing a lot. I've moved. I've, moved to live with my grandfather. He has a new house because he had his separation from his wife, and he's living alone. So I'm here to help him around with things, He's always had a woman to cook and do things for him, so he doesn't really know how to do that too well. So I have to make sure decent food is made and stuff like that. But anyways, I've been doing a lot around the house, tons of stuff. Wiring up security cameras everywhere and things like lights and fixing stuff nonstop, painting the house, all that kind of stuff, just nonstop, a lot of stuff. So I've been kind of busy, haven't had time to work on the channel. Some things are changing for 2024, so I just wanted to let y'all know. So I'm moving on from doing the mods. I'm moving on from this, and I'm moving to actually building. Okay, so what I did, I ordered this little DIY fuzz face type fuzz kit. I think the brand is called, let me make sure if it says it on here. Yep, I'm right. It's Copper Sound is the brand. They make a few pedals, which are cool. But what makes them really stand out is they make these interesting breadboard kits, but they also make little interchange type boxes where you can plug in the circuit. Like, let's say you want to test different resistor values for a certain resistor in the circuit. You plug it in, and you can test different resistor values on it, which was cool. So I got a couple of those. I'm actually going to start building my pedals from scratch. So I wanted to reverse engineer and come up with my own fuzz. So I wanted to just build one from a kit first, which is this type fuzz face type. Now, of course, I'm not going to directly copy this. But of course, it'll be very highly inspired by this circuit. But I'm going to mess around with a bunch of different layouts and components, switching out different values, seeing how different things sound. And while I do that, I'll probably be building a lot of one-off versions of fuzzes until I get to the version that I like, and then I'll probably build a lot of those. So that's the plan. We've got our circuit boards. I'm actually going to build them on strip board. Good old strip board. Got a lot of components finally came in from Alibaba, like switches, pre-wired, makes life easier. I'm probably going to add another switch into the circuit. I'm not sure yet though. We'll leave that as a surprise. I might actually replace one of these knobs with a switch to make things simpler, or I might add a switch as a separate thing. But we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna tweak with these. But yeah, I wanted to let y'all know that's the plan. We're moving on to actually building pedals, because the thing is, I love modding pedals, but 9 times out of 10, it's very time consuming, because people just think, oh, when he mods a pedal, it's so simple. You just hook up a mod. No, there's hundreds of points under here that sometimes less, but if you combine them, you're talking thousands of combinations, possibly a simpler design, maybe hundreds, but something this simple, not that many, but. And then you got to tweak everything and you connect them all and you see what kind of mods you can get. And that's not it. You can also hook up different resistors or transistors or other things in the circuit to just get it other weird sounds. There's so much stuff you can do with circuit bending. It's like an endless black hole. So I kind of limit, for time's sake, it's just connecting points to points, because if I start adding transistors and resistors and capacitors into the circuit as an addition, it just makes things take forever. So, and the problem is, if I'm making new pedals, I can get a formula, I know what I'm making, and I can continue making them, right? When I make them, they're going to be through hole. They're not going to be surface mount stuff. So they're going to be hand built by yours truly. And another thing with the modded pedals is most of them are built with leaded solder, not solder. Except some newer stuff, and I'm obviously not working on newer stuff. I'm always working on cheaper stuff, so it's always had lead. And of course, it's not that dangerous if you take the right precautions, but I just don't like working with it. I like working lead-free. So that's another reason I'm stopping the mods. And another reason is just, it's so time-consuming. You'll never get, if you want to sell them, like if I make, a lot of them I make and I keep, and literally most of them I make I keep for myself. But if I make some to sell to you guys, it's like, I'm never going to make my, very rarely can I make my time investment back in the money, right? Now, some pedals take a while. Like one I just did for this guy, it took me a few days working on it, tweaking it. Sold that for a pretty penny, but normally I'm not selling them that much. You know, it's just not worth it. Like when I build my fuzzes, I don't know how much I'm going to sell them for. Probably, I don't know, maybe $100. I don't know. We'll see when we get to it. Like I still got to figure out the case situation. If I can hand build my own cases, I should be able to get them at a cheaper price point for you guys than if I have to actually buy the cases pre-built. I don't want to do that, or have them manufactured for me. Do not want to do that. So anyways, yeah, we're moving on to building pedals. But yeah, I wanted to show y'all some of the last mods that I did before I move on to the building. So it's not in here. But there's a Chukka tremolo from TC Electronic, which is basically Behringer. I put a little switch on that, hooked up to like a chip on there. The point is so small that the mod is so delicate that I could never sell that, because if in shipping it'll come undone. Plus I like it too much. It just makes the tremolo much. You flick on that switch and it goes to like overdrive, super speed, like the super speed on the tremolo. But yeah. What else we got? Also got this. What was this? I think this is actually a Behringer tremolo. Modded. I think, is that a tremolo? I don't know. Interesting mod on that. I'm pretty sure that's also the Behringer tremolo. I might be wrong. But that's another one, weak mod. Connected to a little circuit board in there with the wire. It's such a thin point. Won't be able to sell that. Most of the coolest mods you get are hooking up to the little chips in there, but they have such small points that they're such delicate mods. What else I got? There's a few other things I might have recently, I don't remember, but I'm going to show you 4 more. This little Super Fuzz, sorry. This is probably one of the best pedals Behringer ever did. These Behringer pedals have like absolutely no room inside. If you see people putting like switches on here, it's an art form to get a switch on the side of one of these if you look on the inside. There's a few of them that have a little more room, but most of them don't. This one definitely is one that doesn't. I had to mount it inside the battery case and then cut out part of that so you could close it. I kind of like this one. I'm debating on selling this one or not. It's a maybe. I probably won't sell this one. Probably will keep it. But we'll see. Also, there's this cool one. This one's a maybe. It's the Hash Browns Flanger. I gave this some cringy name. What did I give it? I think I called it the Dirty Hash. I think that's what I called it. But this switch just engages like a little cool, gritty harshness to the sound. Changes it up a little bit. Pretty fun mod. Now this is insane. This was a bucket list thing for me, and I did it. I kind of did it a little backwards, but so I always wanted to do a mod that connected 2 pedals together, like, you know, with a wire. And that's what I did. It's literally a single wire connecting 2 points on, you know, 1 point on this, 1 point on this. Now I kind of did this backwards because you want to go into this compressor first and then into the distortion. It works much better that way. But I did it. I put them this way, so your wire's going to have to go around. You can, of course, do it the other way, but just the way I recommend is like that. So yeah, the switch is just here, but it affects both pedals. Pretty cool. You can't see the wire because it's under my logo stickers. And this is mounted on a top of a plastic barrel lid. Brand new, so there was nothing chemical that this was exposed to, brand new lid. But yeah, the cool thing is you can engage this mod. See, hear that? Even when it's off. But you don't have to have this pedal. If you have this pedal on and not that one, you'll get a different you'll get a louder version of the mod, but a little bit different. If you have them both on, then the mod gets quieter and also sounds different again. So I'll let y'all hear that. First we'll do just this pedal, and then we'll do that. We're gonna show you this on our trusted Donner 303 like clone. Oh, there's a piece of fennel seed in there, I think. Oh, it's bird seed. I was feeding the birds earlier and must have got some in there. But yeah, I'll let y'all hear it. So that's what it sounds like standard. Alright, now let's throw on one of the mods. Still on the first pedal only the compressor. Trying to remember which one's mod version this is in. It's getting interference from my phone, sorry. The what do you call it? The amp's picking that up. See again. I don't remember which one's which. Which one's the... I think... Let's just play it. Hello? Alright, hold on. Yeah, down's the mod, because if you have the pedal off and you turn the switch down, it just cuts the sound. Okay. Now we have the mod on, let's engage the other pedal. See how much quieter that got? We have to up the volume now. Woo! See here. It's just a simple, weird little mod. Ain't nothing too special. Now, if you turn the level way down on the compressor, you get some weird things going on. Now the mod's on. See, even with the mod off, it's still not normal anymore. Now the mod's on, let's get a little bit crazier. Kind of weird sounding, hear that? I don't know how loud this is. I apologize that this is coming from my amp speaker, but I wanted to show you all little demos of these things because I still haven't had time to set up my studio at the new place. I still haven't had time. I know it's insane to think. I've been just busy nonstop doing things. You know, also looking for work. I had a job, but they wanted me to work 7 days a week, and that wasn't going to work for me, so I had to leave. I know that seems insane, but that's literally what it was. It was a bait and switch. I was supposed to work 4 days, maybe 5 a week. Normally 4, but it ended up being 7 days a week with only 2 days off a month. So, nope, had to leave that. Let's turn this down a little bit. Turn this up. So now you ask, well, what about if I use just the distortion by itself? Can I still do that? Let's turn on the volume. Turn off the mod. Turn off that pedal. Let's check this out. Yes, you can. It doesn't work how you normally would think it would work. Now you can run this, we can run this the opposite way. Let's try that real quick. Let's run the distortion first, before the compressor. Alright. Okay. Hold on. Put this here. Put that in there. Of course, it's a mess on this table. I definitely need to organize this better. Right. Okay. Let's see here. Turn the volume way down to be safe. Plus play. Now this is with the distortion first. Turn on the compressor. Compressor mod, that is. I have a weirdness going on. This is that wildness. We turned on the gain on the distortion. It's like we're listening to the universe burn. Now the interesting thing is volume's at max when it's at the middle on the distortion. When you turn it down or up more than that, it goes off. If we turn up our gain though, interesting, right? Well, that's that weirdness. Pretty weird. Yes, I know. Woo! That was loud. Explosions. We should have turned down our amp before we did that. So anyways, that was just something I made for fun. 2 little cheap pedals. I'm gonna sell this little. I'm gonna sell this pretty cheap. Just because this was more of just a kind of fun little thing I had on my bucket list to do, and it's going to be cheap for anyone out there who wants it. Now these are taped down very, very well. They are battery powered. I didn't think about this until later. If the batteries die in them, just leave them. They're really, really high quality Duracells, so they're not going to leak for many, many years. You'll probably die of old age before they leak, or the pedals will probably die. So just saying. They probably literally won't leak until like 2040. But yeah, there are some batteries in there, just FYI. But if they die, you can always plug in and go. Now, what else do I have? So, we got this, and we got this. So So I'm gonna give y'all brief little demos of these two while I got you here. Or maybe not. You know, maybe I'll give these a more respectable video. Yeah, I think I'll give these a more respectable video. Well, besides, I'll give the Graphic EQ a go. But this one deserves a little bit better video. So what about this one? You know what? I'll give this. This has been long enough. We'll make another video for this too. I'll wait until I have my you know, my studio actually set up before I make another video. I just want to give you an update of what's going on and the plans to actually build pedals, which is gonna be dope. We got tons of parts, and I don't know why I say we. It's just me, but when I say we, it seems cooler, I guess. But just me. The only part I'm still deciding on is how I'm gonna build the cases and what I'm gonna make them of. Right? I'm not sure yet, but we'll get to that part when we get to it. But yeah, I do have one other cool piece of info. If y'all made it this long, they haven't arrived yet. But whenever they do, whoever buys any of my gear, I have little custom guitar picks coming in. They're going to be white celluloid. On one side, they're going to say ADHD mods. ADHD mods, and then in the finer print below it's going to say custom guitar pedals or something like that, I think. I can't remember. And this is the funny part. On the back side, there's this funny picture of my dad. I don't remember what it was for, but me, my dad, his parents, my grandparents on my dad's side, we went out to eat, and we ate at this seafood place kind of near where I used to live. Pretty good place. But yeah. It's a funny face he made while there. And I colorized it into like this cool synthwave pink and blue. So that's going to be on the back side of the pedal. Back side of the pick. Now, if you guys want, y'all can make custom picks pretty cheap online. But I found out, I know it's, yeah, but the cheapest, if you want the cheapest ones, you can order them from the factory on AliExpress, you know. But you don't really get many options. They say we're going to give you white, but if we don't have those, we might give you random color. You don't get to pick the color of the pick. You do get to do double-sided, and it was only like $19 for 100 picks. It's insane. Anywhere else for 100 picks is between $40 to $60, and that's single-sided normally. And that's single color printing normally. So this is full color, dual-sided. So the price couldn't be beat. Probably when I have things going a little better, I'll maybe design more fancy ones with an American company. But for now, we're doing these. I just used what money I had left to do it. And money's kind of thin, so we're working with what we got. I made them on the thicker side. I'm kind of new to guitar. I suck at it, but I played a little bit to test my pedals, and I've just noticed I like thicker picks. This is about the thinnest pick that I like, an 88. I've like... even the 2mm picks are great. There's a 2mm around here somewhere. But I found out most of the time I was using the 1mm to 1.2 around that range. So that's what the picks are coming as. I think they're going to be 1.1 or 1.2s. I think 1.2. So yeah, I hope you guys like the little picks. I'll show them off in the next video. And yeah, there's going to be some original fuzzes. Like I said, they're going to be hand built and not even on printed circuit board. They're gonna be on strip board. You know, working with strip board is not fun, obviously, you know that. But if we're working with an established, simple design that we're just gonna reverse engineer and change a little bit, then it'll be kind of fine. So yeah, thank you all guys for watching. Eventually, I'll put a video of these, but I want to give them justice to when I actually have my studio set up. I said, but she's been so busy, plus the holidays, family, just so busy for the past few months. Yeah, I'm trying to get the time to do stuff. You have no idea how busy I've been around this place. And there's nonstop projects around this house because it's a fixer-upper that my grandfather bought. So, I mean, there's even a pool, and it doesn't work. You know, it's just like abandoned, but we're going to try to get it working next year. So that's going to be a big task. But yeah, a lot of things. All right, well, see you all. And I'll give you a brief little, I told you a brief little thing about this one, but I forgot to tell you about this one. So this pedal, my fiance's brother gave me this. It was one of his first pedals. And I told him I mod pedal sometimes. And he says, you know, see what you can do with this. I don't use this anymore. So you might not notice any switches or anything on here. Well, what I did was I did a simple mod. It's just one little wire in here connecting one end of a chip to a, what is it? To a, I can't remember. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the name. I always get components confused because I'm like kind of dyslexic a little bit. So like if something's similar in my mind, I can get them flipped. But I have one right here. One of these. A smaller one. Electrolytic something. It's on the tip of my tongue. Electrolytic capacitor? Transistor? I know. You're laughing at me, but I'm having a brain malfunction. But yeah, one of those wired to the end of one of the chips. And of course, it makes a little kind of farting tone to the sound. I made it permanent because it was such a delicate mod anyways. If I put a switch on there, it would have probably been too much stress and it could have ripped it out over time. Plus, I mean, this is a Behringer EQ pedal. No one's going to miss using its standard EQ function, right? So, and now it's a little bit fun. The EQ still does work with the mod. And the mod's permanent, of course. So I will show you that. Out of all the ones I've modded recently, probably this one is my favorite. And then the ones I'm not going to sell, those tremolos, those two tremolos. And then this one turned out pretty good. And then that one I did for that guy came out really weird. 4 different mods. I haven't done 4 different mods on one pedal for ages. It's so much work. Make sure everything works together. It's not worth the stress anymore. So that's going to be like the last pedal I do with that many mods. If I do ever mod any pedals going forward, they're going to be strictly like a 1 or 2 mod affair mostly. So yeah. But don't expect many. And I did release a video on that pedal I did for that guy, but it has really, really bad guitar playing in it, like horrible, like your ears will bleed. So I kind of don't want to release it to the public. Maybe one day I will. Maybe in the future, maybe a few years from now, I'll silently make that video public. And you guys will see it, and you'll get to hear that pedal, but maybe not. So yeah, see you guys. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. And I hope you guys will like when I make those fuzz pedals, you know. Like, it is exciting. It's very daunting because it's a huge step, right? I'm abandoning the mods, but I'm embracing the builds. Now, I still do have a few keyboards I want to mod. I don't know if I'm going to mod this one, for example. Not sure. But I have a few that I'm going to mod eventually. Maybe 10 years from now, 1 year from now, 10 seconds from now. We'll have to see when I do it. Literally, I could do it after this video. I don't know. Yeah. I did try to mod this Blue Man Group keyboard down here. There's really nothing going on inside that board. It's just like a ghost in the machine, really. So there's not much you can do with it, mod-wise. At least not that I could find someone smarter than me could do it. Well, yeah. These are going to be listed. Sadly, this is going to be the video that goes up with them because I'm not going to make another video on this. Because, I don't know. It's kind of meh. It's kind of simple. I'm going to make these cheap. This is going to be like one of the last cheap ones I do. Especially for what it is. It's more like an artwork installation. More like what could we do this? Could we wire 2 pedals together and get a mod? So that was the whole premise of this. And that was the plan. And the goal. And I did it. And it came out interesting. I wish it came out better. There wasn't really much mod-wise that I could do with either one of these pedals without adding components. And I didn't feel like doing that. So that's why I combined them into this. 30 minutes in, wow. Alright, see you guys. And yeah, I might make a little video if the picks arrive before I have the channel. I mean, before I have the studio up, I might make a little video showing off those picks. But stay tuned. And of course, anyone buying any of my gear, once the picks arrive, we'll get some of the picks. If you order before then, I'm sorry. But person who bought that last pedal did the custom order. If you're watching this, I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna send you a couple of the picks when I get them. So just, yeah. All right, see you guys.